Hello and welcome to Fire of Learning. I'm Justin. What does your name mean? In a past video we discussed the meaning behind a large number of common given names in the English-speaking world. However, in that video we didn't quite get to everyone's name. There are a lot of names out there. So I promised a second video if that video did well, and well, here we are. In this video I hope to discuss where your name came from and what it means. So, let's jump right into it. Olivia Oliver. An interesting pair of names. What we may in fact have here is a situation where two separate names that sounded similar became one. Classical Latin Oliviaris, meaning olive farmer, and a Germanic Olifar or Alfar, meaning elf warrior. Aiden, a Celtic name, meaning born of fire, a reference to the Celtic sun god, Aed. Kyle, Kyla, Kylie, Celtic, from the word for narrow or straight. Gary, Germanic origin, related to ger, an old Germanic word for spear, which is actually where the name Germany might have come from. Zechariah Zach, from the Hebrew Zechariah, meaning remembered by God. Teresa Terry Tessa, likely from the Greek therizo, meaning harvest, or possibly related to Diana, the goddess of the hunt. Tyrone, a name which was originally a place name. Tyrone, or Tir Owen, land of Owen, is in Ireland, where it became a common given name. Ethan, from the Hebrew etan, meaning spiritual strength. Sebastian, from the Greek sebastos, meaning venerable, strongly influenced by the Greek city of the same name, now called Sivas. Keith, a Celtic name related to the word for forest. Lawrence Larry, likely related to the name Lauren, which we discussed in the last video, related to laurels, symbols of victory in ancient Greece and Rome. Wyatt, from the Germanic Widow or Widow, meaning wood or forest. Extra points to any of you who remember Widukind from my videos where we talk about Charlemagne. Bruce, popularized by the Scottish king Robert the Bruce. It comes from Brie, Normandy, meaning the Willowlands. Beverly. This was once a last name in English, which was itself derived from a place name. It essentially means Beaverland, or one who comes from Beaverland. Pamela Pam Pammy. The origin of this name is unclear. It was likely made up by the 16th century poet Philip Sidney, possibly meaning something like universal sweetness from Greek. Harper, Germanic, meaning a harp player. Elijah, from the Hebrew Yahweh is my God, related to the biblical character. Lilian Liliana, from the Latin lilium, of course related to the flower. Otto, I had a number of requests for this one. It's a German name meaning wealth or prosperity. Logan, a Scottish name, meaning little hollow. Caleb, Hebrew, meaning faithful or devoted. Karen and Katrina. I forgot to mention in the last video, these names also come from Catherine, which means pure. Renee, from the French reborn, similar to the word Renaissance. Clint, meaning likely settlement on a hill, another place name. Spencer, from dispenser, an English name for an administrator or steward. Stuart, a similar name to Spencer, an Old English word that became popular as a name in Scotland, meaning guardian or steward. Bernard, Germanic, from Bernhard, strong like a bear. Jamal, an Arabic name, meaning beauty. Isaiah, Hebrew, meaning Yahweh is salvation. Austin, Augustus, Augusta, Augustine, Augustina, a Roman name meaning venerable or esteemed. Austin is a contraction of this name. Connor, Celtic from, I'm told it's pronounced Connor, meaning lover of wolves. Again, extra points to those of you who remember the O'Connors from my Ireland documentary. Calvin, originally a surname popularized by the religious leader John Calvin. Mason, a name derived from the occupation, a stoneworker, hence masonry. Chadwick Chad, from the Celtic cad, meaning battle, or one who does battle. Lloyd, a Welsh name, meaning grey. Maurice, originally a place name referring to a Roman from the province of Mauritania. Virginia, from the Latin Virgo, virgin or maiden, with reference to the mythical Roman character Virginia, but also the American state, which was named after Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen. Cheyenne, from the Sioux language, referencing the western North American tribe of the same name, meaning the supplanter. Sharon, a Hebrew name from the Sharon Plains in Israel. Stacy, from the Greek Anastasia, meaning resurrection. Sheila, Cecilia, Celia. Once again we have a name that was once one name, but became varied across different regions in Europe, then re-entered English as different names. Cecilia is the original. It likely comes from caelum, the word for heavens or sky in Latin, so heavenly, but might be caecus, meaning blind. Sheila or Sheila is the Irish equivalent. Dean, from the Old English word for valley. Luke, Lucas, Luca, from the Latin lucere, meaning to brighten. This name means the bright one, with no small influence from the Gospel of Luke. Tristan, a Celtic name, noisy or bold. Casey, from a Celtic origin meaning vigilant or watchful. Noel, from the French word for Christmas. Walter Gautier, from the Germanic Wald and Arya, meaning leader of the army. Caden, likely Celtic, from cad, meaning battle, the same word that brings us the name Chad, one who does battle. Troy, sometimes a reference to the legendary city of the Iliad, sometimes from the Irish Troia, foot soldier. Jasmine, from the Persian Yasmina, gift from God, with reference to the flower. Zoe, from the Greek meaning life. Tobias, Toby, from the Hebrew Tovia, the goodness of the Lord. Craig, from a Celtic word meaning rock. Holly, either Old English, a place name meaning place by the hollow, or possibly Celtic, meaning hollow-eyed. Arthur, popularized of course by the legendary King of the Britons. The name probably comes from a Roman family name, Artoria, although the origin is unclear. Isaac, from the Hebrew meaning laughter, with reference to the biblical character. Colin, likely meaning whelp, a puppy, in Celtic languages, or possibly derived from Nicholas. Mitchell, a variant of Michael, Michael, a rhetorical question in Hebrew meaning who could be like God. Joel, from the Hebrew Yoel, Yahweh is God. Dylan, a Welsh name, son of the sea. Dominic, from Latin Dominicus, meaning lordly or belonging to the Lord. Carly, a variant of Carl which I forgot to mention in the last video. In this case, it would be Germanic and mean free woman. Cody, a Celtic origin, meaning helpful one. Vincent, related to Victor, from the Latin vincere, it means conqueror. Barbara, from the Greek barbaros, foreigner, the same root for the word barbarian. Jeremiah, Jeremy, from the Hebrew God will raise, made popular by the Hebrew prophet. Lois, from the ancient Greek lois, meaning desirable or agreeable. Louis, from the Old Germanic Lodovig, Hlod and Vig, meaning bright warrior. Humphrey, from the Old Germanic meaning peaceful warrior. Douglas, a Celtic name from dove and gloss, meaning black stream. Dustin, a Norse name from Thorstein, Thor's stone. Hans, a Germanic name which comes from Johannes, which is a German form of John, which means God is gracious. Wade, likely from the Old English gewade, meaning one who dwells by a wading place or a fjord. Garrett, Jared, Gerard, Jarrett, Gerald, Geraldine. These names share a similar Germanic origin, either Gerhard, meaning brave spear, or Gerwald, spear ruler. Dalton, a Norman family name meaning from the farm of the valley or town of the valley. Wayne, Old English meaning wagon builder or wagon driver. Riley, from the Irish Rollick, meaning valiant. Mackenzie. As mentioned in the previous video, Mac means son of, usually a Celtic family name. Kenzie means welcoming or pleasing, or something along those lines. Tyler, an Old English occupational name for a tile maker or tile layer. Roy, Rex, Ray, Regina, Reginald, all associated with the Romance languages and their words for kings or royalty. Roy is French, Rex is Latin, Ray is Spanish, Regina or Regina is Latin for queen. Derek, Dietrich, Terry, Dieter. From the Germanic Theodoric, meaning ruler of the people. Simon, from the Hebrew Simon, meaning listener. Morgan, an Old Welsh name meaning something along the lines of defender of the sea. Serena, a Latin and Greek name, related of course to the word serene. Valerie, a Latin name related to the word for strong, brave, and of course valiant. Miranda, similar to Amanda in the last video, it means worthy of admiration. Winston, originally an English family name, Winston, joyful stone. Maximilian, Maxwell, Maximus, a Roman name from the Latin Maximus, the greatest. Cooper, Old English meaning barrel maker. Madeline, a Greek name derived from Mary Magdalene, the woman mentioned in the Bible. It means of Magdala, a city now in modern Israel, but can also mean magnificent or elevated. Bradley, an Old English place name, meaning place of the broad wood or broad clearing. Madison. Today it's a unisex name popular with girls, but it used to be a surname, like most names ending in son, meaning son of Matthew. Leonard, Leopold, Leo, all related to the Latin word Leo, meaning lion. Leonard, from the Germanic Leo, hard, meaning strong like a lion. Leopold is a bit complicated. It appears at first the Leo part came from the word Liut, meaning people, in the old Germanic languages, related to the modern German word for people, Leute, and bald, meaning brave. Liutbald, brave people. However, it was likely altered to be Leopold, brave like a lion. Neil Nelson. This name has a Celtic origin, meaning champion. Nelson was originally a surname, meaning son of Neil. Alec Sandy. Both variants of Alexander or Alexandra. Alec is a Scottish form of Alex, which was originally Greek, meaning defender of the people. Eileen, an Irish form of Helen, meaning light or bright. Rudolph, from the Germanic Rud and Wolf, meaning glorious or famous wolf. I suppose you could say wolves that went down in history. Ross, a Celtic place name originally, meaning the headland. Felix, the Latin word for lucky or fortunate. Clayton, clay, originally an Old English place name, the place of good clay. Hunter Chase, another occupational name. As one might expect, hunter means hunter. Chase is the French equivalent, from chasser, to hunt. Page, from the Latin pagius, it refers to a young helper, with specific reference to the medieval position. A page was typically a young man on his way to becoming a knight, although it has become a unisex name. Darnel, an Old English occupational name, referring to the one who grew the darnel plant. And so we have covered well over 100 more names. Hopefully you were able to find the meaning of your name in this video. However, if not, once again, I did make another video on the exact same topic with over 100 other names if you haven't seen that one yet. As a closing thought, I wanted to mention that when it comes to names like Beaverland, or the amount of girls who are named Son of Matthew, that while the original meanings of names are very interesting and important, as time passes, the important thing is the people who bear them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then I invite you to come check out the rest of Fire of Learning and to subscribe to keep up with more videos like this in the future. To help with the cost of production, Fire of Learning does take donations on Patreon, the link to which you can find in the description. You can support the channel with as little as a $1 contribution, however, simply subscribing to our YouTube channel for free is also a large help. A special thanks to our Patreon supporters listed here. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, so come check us out there too. Thank you for watching.